Okay, we're going to talk about it because I want to talk about it once again. We are in union, and it has been a while since we have been in the twin flame soulmate union. Okay, um, roles are definitely reversed in this new union because in a lot of the unions, you know, it's more so of me who is in control. I'm more of the advanced twin. And, you know, this go round, I am dealing with a more advanced twin, which is something that I have been wishing for. Because I said, if a sister got to do this, you know, I just don't want to be dealing with the same shit that I was dealing with. So let's just get into the observation. So it took me about 2 days. I believe this is the third day. I believe I've been in union for 2 days. Before 2 days, everything just seemed regular and normal. Then all of a sudden, like everything just shift. And I began to become enlightened and have epiphanies about what has been leading up to the shift. Because, there have been a couple of things that have been like a little weird for me. I've been doing certain things and not understanding why I'm doing them, like when it comes to my projects. Like I have projects, already in the process. Then it's kind of like, I've been starting other projects. I don't usually do that. I like to stay focused. Um, I like to stay focused on, getting certain shit done. You know, um, I'm not going to say right away, but I like the consistency. So, you know, um, this individual is very flexible, and their mind, uh, I don't know. This person has a relationship with their mind. I have never met anybody like that. I have never met anybody in the world. I have never connected to anybody to where it just seems like they have a relationship with their brain, with their mind. You know, this individual, sometimes they get locked into their mind, but they always find ways to free it. I've already picked up that, there are a lot of things that I need to stay out of the way. Okay, so I don't even know what that means. So now that I'm understanding that I'm in union, you know, I can kind of figure out what is truly going on. I mean, this individual, like their energy is like real flexible. The way that they think, the way that they move, you know, um, they're very hard to keep up with. But with me realizing that we're in union and this individual is more advanced than me, it's kind of like, well, shit, I ain't got to keep up. I just got to learn. Okay. I just got, I just got to learn some shit. I'm okay with that. Because what ends up happening within the twin flame unions, and see, this is why I needed the practice with dealing with some of my lower vibrational twins to kind of get me prepared. Well, my thing is that I have already been ready for someone who's more advanced than me. Like, I have really been wishing for that. So my wish has come true. And something is telling me that it's going to be better than what I imagined. But right now, it's kind of like it's like slipping into the flow of things, like the surrender, you know, because, and I have been saying it for a while, there's a need for more relaxation. Why is there so much more of a need for relaxation? Why? So now we understand why. This person to me seems to be very authentic. I picked up like kind of shy, like kind of tiptoeing around, you know, but I'm just like, they're in control. What do they need? You know what I'm saying? Like they're in control. They have the upper hand. So, they'll get over that, you know. Um, there's quite a bit that I have, this individual. I don't know. I guess I guess it's their transparency. I guess that they're transparent, which is why it seems to me as if things are moving very fast. Because I want to say, this person moves things very fast throughout their day, throughout their movements. Like they be on the goddamn go. You know, they here, they're there, and that's another thing to where I'm just like, oh no, I can't keep up. Like, I could just, I be feeling the movements, and I'm just, I'm just like, well, you know where to find me, shit, you see, the issue sometimes with a lot of twin flames is that, they feel like they have to keep up. So what is that? That is a sign that individual is competitive within their relationships. Okay, so me personally, I'm not a competitive person. I never was a competitive person. Like I sucked in sports growing up. Okay, so the sport that I used to do was swimming, and I love the water. So at the times to where I'm supposed to be competing, I got some speed, but I'm gliding through that water. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know what to say. It just feels like this person is like I said, it was kind of shy, like tiptoeing. Then it's kind of like they just slid in there, like real smooth, and just kind of got comfortable, you know. So, so obviously this individual is comfortable with me. So I have to unwind and allow myself to be comfortable as well, just kind of relax, you know. I'm trying to tell you, like, I understand so much more now. As much as I want to be super, like, focused on my projects, I'm going to have to slow down for this experience. I just don't understand why I've had to have so much preparation for this experience. I'm not anticipating this is going to be a long experience. I just don't know what to expect from this person. Don't know what the fuck. But I pick up, don't get in his way. And I pick up, like, just let him be. You know, he's giving me bird. He's giving me bird, like he's a bird, you know. So when we think of the animal kingdom, he would be a bird. So he must be some type of like official. He holds some type of authority in the world within himself and I believe spiritually too. I pick up another individual around him though. So I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he's has a girlfriend, if it's a roommate. But or I don't even it could be maybe the people who may be around him. But it's like mentally he's definitely under attack. Spiritually, he's under attack too. So I can hear the mental, but I can pick up very sharply on the spiritual because it has a lot to do with creativity. Okay. So, I mean, I don't, so can we just tap in with the cards a little bit? Yeah. Because if he is married or if he is in a union, I need to be able to separate and be able to identify his energy from his spouse's energy. This usually tells me there may be a little turbulence in paradise. Okay. All right, so just open up, like just give me just a little insight into their situation. So he is married. Oh, excuse me. Oh. So she's the one I've been picking up on. What's wrong with her? Okay. So I don't know if he knows this. Does he know? So the wife is feeling some kind of way about, or the girlfriend, I mean, whoever. So she's feeling some kind of way about your ex, about your exes. I pick up there's about 5 of them, okay, that she, what is going on? Ooh, child. Wait a minute. So let's just cut the shit, okay? I'm trying to, I'm trying to think about shit before I say it because there's a part of me that just really wants to be like raw dog 100%. But I do want to show my respect. So, and I don't necessarily know how sensitive the situation truly is because it's like when he leaves his home, when he leaves his wife at home, it's like I hear her thoughts. I hear her. It's very negative, very angry, very bitter. So, but at the same time, I'm trying to be able to identify the wife's energy because I don't know if individuals are projecting onto her or if these are actually her feelings and her thoughts towards my twin behind his back. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you, I do feel bitterness from her and a little resentment, with her dealing with him because of what she may be going through with her exes. So my thing is that for one, if he's not with any of them, you should not be worried about his past. You should be focusing in on the future. Now, if he has children with multiple women, is that what's going on here? So that's who she's having issues with. They're having issues with her. So it's not her. It's her too. Everybody's playing a role. So it just feels like everybody's competing for this man. So maybe everybody wants his attention. Everybody wants him over here. Everybody wants him over there. You know, does anybody from his past still want him? I pick up one person. Okay. So is this, they have to communicate. So they're communicating with each other. So it's hard for them to communicate. You know, I guarantee there's like a lot of friction between them when having to communicate. So it may have something to do with children. Okay. But let me finish getting into the reading here. So is this reading for the wife? Okay. So, right. I definitely picked up. So, your thoughts are very combative. You know, you're trying to hold it all in. I think, you know, deep down inside, you want to fight. That's what it's given. It's like you want to fight, you want to put hands, but you can't do that. And then on top of that, you don't want to make yourself look bad or make him look bad, especially if you're dealing with children and having to deal with the mothers. So the woman, the other, okay, so the ex that you're dealing with, but my thing is that you have a problem with all of them. But you really don't. You're just letting this one bother you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like you really don't know what's going on. You don't know if they're all in cahoots together. You don't know if they're trying to team up against you. You don't know. It's given like real mad, real combative, in your mind. Today, my thoughts was just like so fucking negative. I'm just like, oh my God. These are not my thoughts. I'm just like, okay, so now I know that was you. And yes, you do have somebody projecting. My thing is that you need to set your boundaries. You know, it's giving me you have your thought pattern is very petty. So this is why you're so bothered by this one woman. And then on top of that, it kind of triggers other certain insecurities in you with his exes. Okay. Oh dear. I don't know what's been going on. I don't understand how you are the one who is with him. And it's like you are not secure. You had to have known that this man deals with like multiple women or have like multiple children. I guess you just didn't know what to expect, and you damn sure didn't expect something like this. You got to be strong, girly. I have a feeling, I think that you're more than what you know, but you have to get off of the vibration of this woman or of these other individuals. It's really about you and your self-esteem. You may be too worried or too focused on everything taking place outside of you and your union and relationship with, your man. So it's dissipating you, it's dissipating your thoughts. So therefore, you do not have the mental energy to be able to just walk away, because there are other things here, there are other things going on here. Like I said, I can't see the details of the things in which is that you have had to go through. I don't think that this is your uh-oh, somebody lying, somebody lying right fucking now, somebody lying. Is it you? Girl, you must be trying to be passive like everything is okay. You know, well, have you complained in the past often? Okay. Okay. So you're right. Complaining is not going to get you anywhere with him, because at the end of the day, he's the one really that has to deal with the women and the children. You know, you could set your boundaries with just dealing with him and the children. I'm pretty sure, honestly, I think that you want a relationship with, but it's a lot of ego going on here. It's kind of like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I pick up. It's like you want to step in on the scene, you want to start assembling things with other women that he deals with. It's kind of like, because maybe you may be the wife, or you may be the number one, or the now girl right now. It's kind of, it's like an entitlement that you feel or that you have. Like, like right away, your intentions is given, I could tell you deal with like power struggles. But it's more so of insecurity and self-esteem issues, because you should not have to decide that you want to put yourself in a position to where you're holding or creating some type of rank over these other women because of your title. Like, that's real catty, and that's you stepping into the situation being petty. My thing is, women's intuition. So, they already can sense how you trying to come. It don't matter. You done already showed something. You done already said something. So they know. They sensed it. And so it's kind of like they start treating you a certain way. Then it's kind of like, with them treating you a certain way and all this, you have been doing, saying something, you have given yourself away in some kind of way. It's kind of like maybe you have like control issues or a superiority complex. You see yourself as better than those women. Well, how you going to put together a group and then decide that you're the better one? If it's a group, it's a team. We have each other's backs. There are times to where we need a leader, but even a good leader knows that you have to allow other individuals to experience what it is like to be in your shoes as a leader, because that is how they get the practice. So sometimes you have to step down and let them step up. And while they're up in that experience, you must uplift them. That is not your MO. That's not you. That's not the way in which that you're thinking about things. You're trying to boost yourself up and put other people under you, because some shape, form, or way you feel threatened. You feel threatened by his exes. The thought of it, the thought of them, you know, in your head, you want to punch a bitch in the face, you know, but you have discipline. That's okay. Feelings come and go. Thoughts, they come and they go, you know. But I just don't feel like that's really you. I just feel like you don't feel good enough. You don't feel like you measure up. I don't understand why you would say or think that if he has chosen you, if you are there now. Maybe things have happened between the two of you. You know, you've made yourself vulnerable. I don't think that you like to be vulnerable because it makes you feel weak. You don't want him to see you as weak. And at the same time, you may not want to be troublesome. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the one causing problems, right? Stay focused on the relationship. But honestly, that's not what you're doing here. That's not what you're doing. You know, you're being passive. Girl, you got to find something. You got to find some kind of way to be able to deal what it is in which that you're dealing with. You have to channel that energy into more of a productive, something productive, you know. Do you have a hobby? Obviously he leaves you at home a lot. Girl, you got the whole house to yourself. You know, I mean, what's going on? A skill, a hobby. Get more into, you know, just enjoying your home, enjoying yourself. Okay, I do pick up that there may be times to where, you know, you have to watch the children or something like that. You so it's kind of like you have to deal with them without him around. So you got to be a big girl, you know, but I understand. I understand you wanting him to be able to handle certain situations, but at the same time it's kind of like, well, if you're the wife, you take on his responsibilities too. You know what I mean? So you have to figure out a way as to how, I already told you, you have to get more into yourself, more loving yourself. You know, like a hobby, an interest. Like what do you like? You got a lot of time on your hands and you get to sit at home and be at home. Don't tell me that's not where you want to be, because I know that's where you want to be. But it's kind of like it's like you want to be with him. You want him there to, it's like you want him to do everything. Mm. He got to fight the battles for you. You know, he has to assemble. It's kind of like you want him to assemble everything around you. You want him to orchestrate his life all around you. But he's sharing his life with other individuals. I pick up that maybe one of his exes may have been well known. And you be watching this woman on social media. You need to get off social media. You know, like leave that shit alone. Stop watching that woman because you're sitting there trying to compare yourself to her. You know, you're not her, and comparison is the greatest thief of joy. You're sitting around trying to manipulate how you can start drama. It's like you don't need to, you don't need him. I don't know. It's like you trying to start stuff. It's you trying to make shit happen so he has to pay attention to you. So that he has to be at home. So that he has to do this. So he has to do that. It seems like there are many things that he already has to do. I girl, You knew what time it was when you got with him. I doubt that he told you anything different. If he my twin flame, I know he kept it a buck with your ass. Especially if he's more advanced than me. I know he ain't have no problem telling you what time it was. Your situation is easy. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot control those other women. You know, but you can teach them how to respect you. And when you're dealing with combative people, combative people, you have to learn how to just have integrity, and you have to be consistent in that. Cause now you're being catalytic for communication. It's not going to happen overnight, but with the consistency, they will learn. He's not fucking around with anybody. So, this woman that you're having issues with, I do pick up that she has another man. I mean, that she has a man. It may be trouble in paradise with them. So that's what I'm saying. Like she's projecting through you, but you're not setting your mental and emotional boundaries. Stop giving so much to that situation. If children are involved, I understand how you'll say, oh, well, we have children, so I have to deal with the children, so I have to deal with her. This and that. I already told you how to deal with that. You got to have integrity. Ain't gonna happen overnight. Blended families are very challenging. Trust me, I know. I've been there. And my thing is that I was younger back then. And with me being me now, there's a lot that I would have done differently. But at the same time, I wasn't in, I won't feeling that. I knew I didn't want to spend the rest of my life with that man. So, I didn't even really try. I really didn't even try. I did what I could for a while, but when I realized, I'm just like, this is not somebody I want to be with for the rest of my life. What I started doing? I started working more on my music. I was out doing shows. I was at the studio. I was meeting new people. So I started to develop a separate life outside of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, finding a life. I know that you may like being at home, but you may need to balance things out with social. So, maybe find an activity to get into, like maybe like pottery, maybe taking piano lessons, something like that, anything. You know what I mean? Have something in your life to look forward to that makes you happy. So when life is lifing, you still have happiness. That is the way that you create happiness. Speaking up for yourself is how you create happiness too. You know? So what's going on with this woman? So she's having issues in her relationship. She's trying to project them, but at the same time, you're feeding into her energy. No, she's not innocent. Yes, she is toxic, and her family dynamic is toxic. You may even see those traits within the child or the children. Well, you're going to have to learn how to deal with that because it is what it is. It's not going to change. You cannot control her, her life, her environment. You can't tell her what to do. When it comes to the child, if there's a child involved, then you have to try your best to establish be patient with the relationship with the child if the child is toxic. My thing is that nobody can tell you, nobody can really tell you, guide you with your life. You have to find the answers within you. You hold the answers. It looks like you're some type of counselor. Are you a police officer? I don't know if you're a police officer or not, but it's definitely giving police officer. Oh, shit. Okay, so that changes things. So, my thing is that, you're going to have to figure this shit out on your own, because I know that you're dealing with criminology is a program. It programs you to think a certain way. And that programming makes it a little complicated to connect to individuals on a day-to-day, especially children. It's pretty much black and white with you, wrong and right. And it seems like, you know, with being a police officer, I'm pretty sure you have that superiority complex. I'm pretty sure that you do. So I can imagine that it would be hard for you, but you find yourself to where you're in a position to where you quote unquote punish individuals for being uncivil, but you find yourself being uncivil within your own life. Are you still working? Mm. So your life is very conflicting. It's not aligned. Mm. Mm. Man, oh man. My thing, you got to start breaking down that ego, but how can you when you're in the position that you're in? And I'm pretty sure you think and feel like you're better than everybody else because of your position. I mean, I get it. I understand. But you're starting to see that that is not the reality. And even if you do think that you are better, you're not showing it. All you're doing is being passive. But your thoughts, you ready to smack a bitch. Straight up. Couple of bitches. Then on top of that, this other woman out here who's well known, you can't stop watching her. Like being with this man is challenging the fuck out of you in so many ways. I feel like your life is very stressful and you are very stressed. But my thing is, it's your way of thinking. That's why I say, with you being in a position of law enforcement and power, I can't tell you anything. And like I said, I understand. I studied criminology. I stopped studying it because I started to realize what it was doing to me. So that's what I'm saying. I understand. And I doubt that you're going to leave your career, you know, to dedicate. yourself, to being his wife, well, honestly, I feel like that's what you're gonna have to make a choice, a very big choice. You have the lovers here. That is the choice. You cannot do them both. And to be honest, there's a part of you to where, you don't want to deal with the bullshit. You don't want to deal, you have a lot to think about. And you have to get clear. I know that you're not happy. You're not happy at all. So you don't see yourself like being no stay-at-home wife. You're not that type of woman. So you must be like an empowered kind of woman. I think that you are empowered, but dealing with him, it has been stripping you. The most that you feel is at work. Maybe you were working. Maybe something happened, or maybe you did make the decision that you wanted to be a stay-at-home woman, and but I think that you're regretting that because it's kind of you're feeling like it's not worth it. You feel tricked. I don't even think that you really believe in love anymore. Your energy is so hard. This is not what you I this was not your ideal of your life. But that's what I'm saying. You had to have known. Well, you know, maybe you thought you could handle it, and maybe in the beginning things were different. But as time began to progress and you having to deal with other individuals, you realize like this is not what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. Do you have friends? I don't really see too many girlfriends. Cause I always say, girl, you gotta get you some friends. You gotta create your own life. Even when it comes to the children, well, take them. You find family things to do. I pick up that you stay in the house all day. Are the children small? You got small children. Girl, you better get them out of that house. Well, shit, I don't know. Y'all might be real comfortable. But still, but still, you can develop your life with including the children. So going to the park, they got all type of shit out here. They got arcades, they got skating rings. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure, as a police officer, you're pretty uptight. Well, the children can help soften you up. The children can teach you how to, be playful, have fun. I'm not saying you don't know how to have fun, but it's given like real mature and just real uptight. Like you can't have fun. You have fun with that dad. You be having fun with him. You know, girl, you is funny. You got a big decision to make. I believe that y'all need to have a conversation. If y'all had a conversation, it led to a fight. And you cannot let that shit go. I think that sometimes you want to put your hands on him too. It's like you're surrounded around danger, but that's a perception because you're really upset about other things. You know, you want to say that he tricked you, but he did. So it's kind of like you have to take responsibility for your choices. But choice is a beautiful thing because you have a big choice here, a serious one with the Hierophant and with the Ace of Swords. You're trying to act like you have so much great things to hide. You don't have, you're hiding that you really want to smack a bitch. And sometimes you want to smack his ass too. So you are absorbing the negativity mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but you're not you're not acting, you're not behaving off of that. But it's wearing you down. Eventually you're going to blow up. Cause it's kind of like I feel like the conversation that y'all had, he said something you did not want to hear. He told you the truth. He told you like the straight up truth. And, us women, we're just like, what? Like I'm sitting up here, I'm telling you, I'm crying out to you. I want to feel like you care. And for things to change, that is how you can show me that you care. Here, he ain't that type of man. He gonna do exactly what he want to do. I believe there's another woman here too. It may have something to do with business. Maybe he made an investment within this woman. It could be this woman here who is on the side talking shit. With her and her relationship, that's trouble in paradise. You know, I pick up sabotage. I have a feeling the two of you have that in common, you know, which means that the two of you nurture defeatist attitudes. Before somebody walks away from you, you want to be able to walk away from them first. You know what I'm saying? If you think or if you feel like you're going to be rejected, you want to do the rejecting first. It's all about the one up. That's what I'm saying. I definitely picked that up. It's very egotistical. I think that you have a way as to how you can hide it. But my thing is, he may feel bamboozled or betrayed by that too. Because you kind of come off, you're coming off like a robot, but there's so much going on the inside with you. So you show him what you want him to see. And it's kind of like you're being passive because you think that that is what is expected of you. Maybe that's something that, you grew up with. Maybe your mother was passive with your father. Mm. I don't think that you like the investment that he made in somebody else because it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Whatever he invested, that's as far as it's going to go. There's not going to be like there's not going to be like anything that comes out of that investment that he made. He may have invested in another woman, and maybe you felt some kind of way about that. You feel a lot of ways. You think very combative. Girl, deep down inside, you're miserable. He may be able to sense that, which is why he may, you know, I'm gonna tell you straight up, when a man, when he really love you, when he really care about you, when he is devoted to you, of course, you want a man that can put his foot down. You want him to be able to affirm himself. He is an individual. He is a person. He needs to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to be able to stand up for himself, even if it comes to you. So, I don't know. Maybe he's putting his foot down a lot more. Maybe at one point in time you had control, or you thought you had control. That's why I'm saying you feel bamboozled. You feel like he tricked you because I think you thought that you had him. You have to admit that your entitlement, you have a problem with entitlement. You know, you feel bamboozled. I think he does too. He thought that you was like really in love with him. He knew that you were, like kind of hard. He may he may like tough women, you know. Me personally, I like tough women too. You know, I believe I've said this before, but I don't know. Um, I like, the women that I have met, well, the majority of them all of them have been white girls. But it's like they're white girls with like attitudes. They're like strong. They're honest. They don't take no shit. Like, I don't know. That's very attractive to me. You know? So I'm not saying that you're white. I mean, I don't know if you are or not, but it's kind of like you was giving off something. You was giving off something kind of cold and hard, but he still expected something soft from you. He was giving off that he was all lovey-dovey, and you would be able to easily control him. Now you see that that's not what it is, so now you feel bamboozled. Like, it's the both of you. And then dealing with the children, it's crazy because I was on this timeline. How old was I? I was 23. This is my timeline from 23 to 25 years old. I was actually you. I was in your position too. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. The choice is yours, but you got to be honest and real with yourself because you are a part of the problem. I feel like this man, he has a tendency to go really cold. It's really offensive because, well, it's more so offensive to you because you thought he was soft and you would be able to control him. Now you see you can't do that. You feel some kind of way about that, but you got to be honest with yourself in the situation. So the question is, do you really love him? Are you in love with him? Or are you in love with him because you thought you could control him? And in controlling him, you thought that you could puppet him with dealing with these other women in his life. It comes off very arrogant. It's like you came in You scoped out the scene, you analyzed things, you saw this and you saw that, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be easy. Yeah, he comes with flaws and he comes with shit that, women usually wouldn't want to deal with, but I bet you he fuck you good. I bet you. Cause with most uptight women, like it's very masculine. So it's very heady. Are y'all having problems in that area too? Right. Yeah, so he ain't giving you that dick. Or maybe you notice that it's not the same. So that too, you could be thinking like, well, maybe he's out messing around and this isn't that. I think no, I think it's something emotional. He doesn't have an emotional connection to you. So emotionally, he doesn't feel safe with you. So yeah, he's a little cold. You didn't think he could be this strong. I don't know why you thought this man was a sucker, because that's exactly what you thought he was a sucker. I think that you thought you thought you was better than him too. He may not have been your usual type, and to you, you feel like, well, if I'm stepping down, I'm gonna be raised up. It's kind of, I don't know, it's giving so arrogant. It's like you stepped up on the scene. It's like you just thought that you were better and you could turn his life around and make his life better, and the women and the children that he deals with better. Like, it's okay. You have like a toxic superhero complex. you know I have superhero complex, but it's not toxic, but it used to be. So that's what I'm saying. I can understand. But it's kind of like, you sitting up there looking at shit like motherfuckers need you and you're some type of savior, but you don't even know how to save yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't really, you're drowning out here. You're making it look good. You're making it look like you're not. There's something bitter about him too. Something cold and bitter about him. It's kind of like, honestly, he can't really be the man that he wants to be with you. And I think that has a lot to do with the emotional connection. This whole situation is so silly. You know, to be quite honest, it doesn't even have to be this way or this complex. You know, you have to stop fighting and you have to stop competing. Fuck all that. The root of the issue is the self-esteem and the insecurity. You need to be working on building yourself up. But I could imagine with the criminology programming that's hard. And you may have seen a lot of stuff in your life and within that career, you know. You ain't fooling me, girl, because I know them police officers be thinking that they better than everybody. They sure do. They think that they think that they better than everybody, and they think that they run shit even when they off the clock. And when they retire, they still the same. They still got the same attitude. They still looking at shit the same. So either you're going to choose love, which would be you choosing yourself, because with you choosing yourself, then you choose that man and his family too. Or you're going to decide that that situation is just not what you want. Cause girl, it's giving dry. It's like my mouth is just, I don't know. I have been talking for an hour, but I'm just like, damn, why is it so dry? It just feels so dry. It's like when the two of y'all kiss, it's like a bitterness that the two of y'all taste from each other. It's giving like robot. It's like real robotish. You know? Y'all are pretty much, it's like you're operating off some kind of a battery. With him, I pick up, he's more authentic, so he's free out here. He out here doing whatever the fuck he want to do. And you may not like that or appreciate that because you consider yourself making sacrifices that you don't want to make, that you weren't anticipating. So this woman, her and her man are fussing about you. It's kind of like you're fighting alone. That's why you're upset with him. Because you feel like he should be there. You feel like, these are his people and he need to be. I understand, but I think that he's already made it clear that he's checked out. He has other things to worry about. He's the one, if he's paying child support or if he's providing in any way with or without the courts, you know, he has to do that. You see, if you decide to leave him, his life is still going to be the same. He still has children to take care of. He still has to deal with those women. You know? So yes, I mean his focus is going to be elsewhere. I think you feel neglected by him. Well, girl, you need to find some dreams. You need to obviously if he out here hustling and working and he got, a lot of children, he may got some money. So if he got some money, then shit. Don't sit up here and act like it's all about the love, you know, because I feel like the way you came up in here, it damn sure won't. Then on top, girl, you got control issues. That's all it is. Then you be dealing with entitlement, and then it's just this whole situation. It may be taking you completely and totally outside of your box and yourself. Girl, he got that money. You need to go. Right. Girl, you need to go and find you a life. You see, you probably spoiled, and shit, maybe you came from privilege. Maybe you bored. So I don't know. you got to find you and what makes you happy. What can you create for yourself in your life that will make you happy with or without him? That's the best advice that I can give you. Because if you don't want to give up, if you don't want to, like leave and all that type of stuff, then girl, you better utilize that money. Take you and them children, even if he has unruly children, or you having issues with the children or something, well, you start creating and developing memories with the children, you'll be fine. I doubt that his children are hell raisers. I really doubt that. I doubt that. I really doubt that. So, well, girl, you need to come on. I introduce you to some children. That'll make you appreciate the ones you got. You know, it just sounds like you spoiled, girl, and you acting like a brat. And you don't want to do anything without him. You don't want to solve anything without him. Like, I don't know, that's what it's giving. Take them kids to the water park, take them kids to the park. It's plenty of things. They got the trampoline house, they got the movies. I said something about skating, and even if you don't want to go to these places, you can buy the skates and y'all can skate around the neighborhood. The children will be your way out, meaning that the children will help you to set your mind free. You just have to focus on establishing more of a relationship with the children. It's going to take you some time because you be trying to run shit. You be trying to control shit. The children can pick up, they can feel that. Try to relate to them. I feel like there's something about you that intimidates them. Maybe they need to see a softer side to you. Maybe they think that you don't like them. So, it's just like, well, she doesn't like us anyway. So why make it easier for her? Why be nice to her? I'm unhappy being around her because I don't think she wants to be around me. Children can feel that stuff. Children can pick up on stuff like that. So anyway, I think that we're done here. Okay. The Magic School Bus came to me. So I don't know. That was an old TV show when I was growing up. But I don't know. Maybe you can get some ideas. Miss Frizzle, she was a teacher. She made learning fun. So you can make time with the children fun, and you can possibly turn it into a learning experience. So that way you have a balance of substance and play. It's not just completely play, because obviously it doesn't seem like you completely want to play. I understand. I don't like no clown shit either. But I do like to have fun. I do like to laugh. Not at a lot, but you know, I like to let my hair down sometimes too. Come alive, you know? All right, so we're going to wrap it up there. Till the next time, talk again.